What's coming between April 8th and April 12th will permanently alter the trajectory of your life, and most people are completely unaware of what's about to hit. This isn't some subtle energy shift you might feel if you're paying attention. This is a cosmic detonator, a series of explosive planetary alignments happening in rapid succession that will force every single person on this planet into a new timeline, whether they're ready or not. And if you've been feeling like you're stuck in quicksand lately, like you're trying to move forward, but something keeps pulling you back, keep watching. Because there's one specific reason why this is happening to you right now, and I'll explain exactly what it is later in this video, so make sure you stick around. But first, you need to understand something crucial. Starting Wednesday, April 8th, the universe is opening a door. But here's the catch. It's only going to stay open for about 48 hours. After that, the opportunity vanishes, and you'll be left dealing with whatever choice you made or didn't make during that narrow window. This isn't a drill. This is the kind of week that separates those who are ready to step into their power from those who stay stuck in the same patterns for another decade. Because what happens this week, it doesn't just influence April. It sets the tone for the rest of 2026 and beyond. The energy you're feeling right now isn't random. Let's talk about what's been happening to you over the past few weeks. Maybe you've felt restless, like you're wandering through fog. Maybe you've been more emotional than usual, crying over things that normally wouldn't affect you. Or maybe you've felt completely drained, like someone pulled the plug on your energy and left you running on empty. This isn't weakness. This isn't you falling apart. This is Mars finishing its journey through Pisces, the final degrees of the most confusing, emotionally saturated sign in the zodiac. Mars is the planet of action, drive, and willpower. It's the warrior, the initiator, the part of you that says enough is enough and takes decisive action. But for the past 6 weeks, Mars has been swimming through the boundless waters of Pisces. And here's the thing about Pisces. There are no edges, no boundaries, no clear path forward. It's all intuition, emotion, dreams, and spiritual fog. Your drive has been there, but it's been like trying to run underwater, exhausting, disorienting, unclear. That's why you've felt stuck. That's why decisions have felt impossible. That's why you've been second-guessing everything. Mars in Pisces doesn't give you the clarity to charge forward. It asks you to feel your way through the darkness, to trust your intuition even when you can't see the path. But all of that is about to change, violently, suddenly, completely. Because this Wednesday, April 8th, marks the beginning of 3 major shifts that will snap you out of the fog and thrust you into the fire. And trust me, by the time this week is over, you won't recognize yourself. Major Shift 1, Wednesday, April 8th, the final breakthrough. At noon on Wednesday, April 8th, something rare and extraordinary happens. Mars, still in the final degree of Pisces, forms an exact alignment with Uranus in the final degree of Taurus. Now, if you don't speak astrology, let me translate what this means. You're being handed a cosmic crowbar, a tool to break free from something that's been holding you prisoner for years. Here's why this is so critical. Both planets are sitting at 29 degrees. In astrology, the 29th degree is called the anaretic degree, the degree of fate, of crisis, of urgent, undeniable transition. When a planet reaches this point, it's like a pressure cooker about to explode. Everything that sign represents reaches maximum saturation, and the universe demands immediate action. Uranus has been in Taurus since 2018. For 8 years, this transit has been systematically dismantling your financial structures, your sense of security, your relationship with material comfort. It's been shaking the foundations of what you thought was stable, your job, your income, your living situation, even your sense of self-worth. And now, in its final moments before moving into the next sign, Uranus is giving you one last gift, a sudden, brilliant, unconventional solution to a problem you've been carrying since 2018. This Mars-Uranus connection on April 8th is the universe's final offer. It's like standing at the edge of a door that's about to slam shut, and someone on the other side is shouting, "Now, this is your chance. Take it or lose it forever." This is the day when out of nowhere opportunities appear, when you get that random text message that changes everything, when a wild idea hits you so hard you can't ignore it, when you suddenly realize there's a way out of the situation you thought was permanent. But here's the thing, this energy won't wait for you. The Mars-Uranus sextile is supportive. It's offering you a ladder out of the pit, but you have to grab it. You have to be willing to do something you've never done before, to take a risk that seems illogical, to trust the unconventional path. If you've been feeling trapped in a job that drains you, this is your window to make a bold career move. If you've been stuck in a financial rut, this is when the breakthrough solution appears. If you've been waiting for permission to change your life, this is it. The universe isn't going to ask you twice, and this is just the warm-up, because what happens the very next day is the main event. Major Shift 2, Thursday, April 9th. Mars enters Aries and everything ignites. At 3:30 in the afternoon on Thursday, April 9th, Mars crosses the threshold from Pisces into Aries, and when I tell you everything changes, I mean everything. Mars rules Aries. This is its home. This is where Mars operates at maximum power with zero restrictions, zero hesitation, and zero apologies. If Mars in Pisces was a warrior trying to navigate through a thick fog using only intuition, Mars in Aries is that same warrior stepping into broad daylight, fully armed with a clear target in sight. The shift is immediate, visceral, undeniable. Suddenly, the exhaustion lifts, the confusion clears, the endless emotional processing stops. You'll feel it in your body first, a surge of energy, a restlessness, an almost aggressive need to move, to act, to start, to fight for what you want. This isn't subtle. You're going to wake up on April 9th feeling like someone turned the volume of your life up to maximum, the patience you've been clinging to, gone, the overthinking, irrelevant. The fear that's been holding you back, it doesn't have the same grip anymore. Mars in Aries is the cosmic equivalent of someone grabbing you by the shoulders and shouting, "Stop waiting, stop hesitating, it's time to move." But here's where it gets even more intense. Mars isn't entering Aries alone. When it crosses that threshold on April 9th, it's joining the Sun, Saturn, Neptune, Mercury, and Chiron, all clustered together in the first degrees of Aries. This creates what astrologers call a stellium, a massive concentration of planetary energy in one sign. And the stellium is activating something even bigger, the Saturn-Neptune conjunction. These two powerhouse planets have been sitting together at the very beginning of Aries since the start of the year, and they represent a generational turning point. Saturn is reality, structure, karma, and hard lessons. Neptune is dreams, illusions, spirituality, and dissolution. When Mars hits this conjunction, it acts as the spark that lights the fuse. Dreams and illusions, Neptune, are aggressively tested against harsh reality, Saturn, through decisive, undeniable action, Mars. The truth becomes unavoidable. False paths collapse instantly. Real paths emerge with brutal clarity. This is the week when you stop talking about change and you become it. This is when the version of you that's been waiting, planning, and preparing gets shoved aside, and the version of you that acts, leads, and conquers takes over. But I need to warn you, Mars in Aries doesn't come with an instruction manual. It doesn't care about strategy or patience or consequences. It only cares about now, and that's both its gift and its danger. The shadow side, why you need to be careful. The massive risk of this week is impulsivity, pure, reckless, burn-it-all-down impulsivity. Mars in Aries wants to act for the sake of acting. It wants to fight for the sake of fighting. It wants to move fast and break things. And while this energy is incredible for overcoming fear, stepping into leadership, and reclaiming your power, it can also lead to catastrophic mistakes if you're not conscious. Arguments will start faster than you can process them. You'll say things you can't take back. You'll make decisions in the heat of the moment that you'll spend months trying to undo. You'll burn bridges you needed, quit jobs without a backup plan, or throw away relationships because they annoyed you on a random Tuesday. The fire of Aries is powerful, but fire doesn't discriminate. It will burn away what needs to go, but it will also destroy what you wanted to keep if you're not careful. This is why Major Shift 3 is so crucial, because just when the Aries energy threatens to spiral out of control, the cosmos steps in with a reality check. Major Shift 3, Friday, April 10th, the Capricorn moon forces you to grow up. At 1 at night on Friday, April 10th, just hours after Mars ignites the Aries stellium, the moon reaches its last quarter phase in Capricorn. If Mars in Aries is the impulsive teenager grabbing the car keys and speeding off into the night, the Capricorn last quarter moon is the stern parent standing in the driveway saying, "Where exactly do you think you're going? Do you have a plan? Do you have gas money? What's your backup if this doesn't work?" Capricorn is ruled by Saturn, the planet of reality, discipline, and long-term consequences. This isn't the sign that cheers you on as you leap off a cliff, hoping you'll sprout wings on the way down. This is the sign that demands you build a parachute first. The last quarter moon is a crisis point in the lunar cycle. It's the moment when you're forced to look at what's working and what isn't. It's the cosmic audit, the moment of truth, the point where you either release what's dead weight or you continue dragging it forward into the next cycle. This Capricorn moon is asking you a very simple, very direct question. Can you sustain this? Can you sustain the decision you're about to make with Mars in Aries? Can you afford it financially? Can you handle it emotionally? Is this driven by authentic ambition, or is this just your ego trying to prove something? This isn't meant to stop you, this is meant to mature you, because passion without structure is just chaos, bravery without a plan is just recklessness, and the universe doesn't reward recklessness, it rewards disciplined action. The Capricorn, last quarter moon is stripping away your excuses. It's dismantling the struggle mentality, the belief that you have to suffer endlessly to achieve success. It's forcing you to release outdated plans that require Sisyphean effort with minimal return. And here's the most important part. It's teaching you that you don't have to control everything to succeed. You don't have to exhaust yourself to prove your worth. You don't have to make life harder than it needs to be. The maturity this moon demands is uncomfortable. It's not the fun part of the week, but it's the part that ensures the risks you take with Mars in Aries actually lead somewhere sustainable instead of just exploding in your face. Remember what I said about feeling stuck? This is why. At the beginning, I told you there was a specific reason you've been feeling like you're stuck in quicksand, like something keeps pulling you back every time you try to move forward. This is it. You've been operating under the Mars in Pisces energy, where action feels impossible because nothing is clear. You've been swimming through fog, trying to make decisions without knowing where the ground is. And every time you thought you were making progress, the lack of boundaries and clarity in Pisces made you question whether you were even going in the right direction. But the universe wasn't punishing you. It was preparing you. Because Mars in Pisces forced you to develop your intuition. It forced you to trust yourself when you couldn't see the path. It forced you to feel your way through the darkness. And now, as Mars enters Aries, you're not just getting clarity, you're getting clarity backed by deep spiritual knowing. You're not charging forward blind, you're charging forward with the wisdom you gained in the fog. That's why this week is so powerful. You've done the internal work, you've felt the feelings, you've processed the emotions, and now you're ready to act. What happens after the storm, the gift waiting on the other side? Now, I know this week sounds intense, and it is, but here's what nobody tells you about these cosmic pressure cookers. There's always a gift on the other side. As the week closes out on April 11th and 12th, the moon moves into Aquarius and forms an intense conjunction with Pluto, the planet of death, rebirth, and total transformation. This shifts the energy from personal ego and immediate action to the bigger picture, the collective, the long-term vision. It's like the universe is asking you, okay, you've made the bold moves, you've taken the risks, you've faced the reality checks. Now, what are you actually building? What's this all for? How does this serve something greater than just your own desires? And just as you're integrating that deeper purpose, Venus and Jupiter, the two most beneficial planets in astrology, form an exact, harmonious alignment on April 13th. Venus is in Taurus, her home sign, operating at maximum strength over love, money, beauty, and comfort. Jupiter is in Cancer, his sign of exaltation, operating at peak capacity over expansion, luck, faith, and emotional security. When these two powerhouses connect in perfect harmony after the chaotic fire of the week, it's like the universe is saying, you survived the initiation, you made the hard choices, you grew up, and now here's your reward. This weekend brings a massive wave of luck, prosperity, and emotional healing. After the arguments, the reality checks, and the intense action, the cosmos provides a balm. Relationships mend, money flows, opportunities expand. You feel safe again, but this time it's a safety built on authenticity and courage instead of avoidance and fear. The people who push through the intensity of April 8th, 10th will experience this Venus-Jupiter alignment as a massive upgrade. Financial windfalls, romantic breakthroughs, creative explosions, and a deep, soul-level sense of happiness and security. But the people who resisted, who stayed stuck in fear, who refused to take the risks offered by Mars and Uranus, they'll still be in the same place, wondering why everyone else seems to be moving forward while they're standing still. The choice is yours, but the window is closing. Here's the truth nobody wants to say out loud. Not everyone is going to make it through this week successfully. Not because the universe is cruel, but because transformation requires courage, and not everyone is willing to be brave. This week is offering you 3 distinct, powerful opportunities. Wednesday, April 8th gives you the key to unlock a door you thought was permanently sealed. It's the unconventional solution, the wild idea, the sudden opportunity. But you have to grab it fast because the energy won't last. Thursday, April 9th hands you the sword. It gives you the energy, the confidence, and the fire to fight for what you want. It strips away hesitation and fear, but you have to wield it responsibly because unchecked fire burns everything, including you. Friday, April 10th grounds you. It forces you to grow up, to release the struggle, to make sure the path you're charging down is sustainable. It's not fun, but it's necessary, and it's the difference between a breakthrough and a breakdown. Some people will take all 3 opportunities and transform their entire lives by the end of this week. Others will ignore them, convinced they have more time, and they'll wake up in 6 months wondering why nothing changed. The second week of April 2026 isn't just another week, it's a threshold, a line in the sand, a moment where the universe asks you point blank, are you ready to step into the next version of your life, or are you going to stay comfortable in the one you've outgrown? You can't fake your way through this, you can't manifest your way around it, you have to take action, real, tangible, sometimes terrifying action. But if you do, if you grab the opportunity on April 8th, if you channel the fire of April 9th with clarity and purpose, if you ground yourself in the discipline of April 10th, you will look back on this week as the moment everything changed. Not because the stars did it for you, but because the stars gave you the perfect conditions and you had the courage to use them. The energy is building right now. You're already feeling it, aren't you? That restlessness, that sense that something is coming, that strange pull toward change even though change is terrifying. That's not anxiety, that's not fear, that's your soul recognizing the opportunity before your conscious mind catches up. The fog of Pisces is lifting, the fire of Aries is igniting, and in just a few days you're going to be standing at a crossroads with a choice to make. The universe is handing you the tools. The question is, what are you going to build? If you're still watching, I'd like to thank you for your attention. If you enjoyed the content and want to see more, please consider clicking the subscribe button. Your support is very appreciated. Feel free to share your experiences or thoughts in the comments below, especially if you're already feeling the shifts of this week. Until next time, take care and subscribe for more insightful content.